problem with fighting loads and assault packs for our fighting guys and gals, I guess. For those guys making their living outside the wire is just the way that everything is configured. It's the inherent problems with carrying body armor and carrying loads on top of the body armor. They've had an evolution of technology in body armor with their plate carriers and all that kind of stuff. I don't have access to that stuff right now, but I'm going to try and simulate to show you what guys are experiencing in the field as far as being able to manage their loads on their person. So I don't have the new plate carrier that they're carrying in Afghanistan. I don't have an IOTV. I don't have the IBAS or anything like that. So what I have is a small armored vest here. Which is nothing much. It's not even close. But what I'm trying to get at is, what I'm trying to hint at is the bulk of everything that these guys have to carry. Okay, so the main problem being that everything is on the shoulders. Everything is on the shoulders, and to kind of simulate more mass here, what I'll do, I'll put on a flick to kind of simulate this, the bulk again, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so this is almost, you can see just the amount of massive stuff. I don't have M16 pouches. You know, each magazine of 5.56 ammo is 1 pound. So guys are out there with chest rigs with 8-10 magazines on their front, plus whatever extra they're carrying in their assault pack. And they may wear it on the fighting load carrier. They may attach it directly onto the molly onto their vest. All right, but bottom line is the vest itself is about 28, 29 pounds now, with the sappy plates in it. You have eye sappies in the front, in the back, and 2 on the sides, which just increases the bulk of all the stuff that you have, and it's all resting on your shoulders. They say they've developed a cummerbund technology to wrap around your hips, but when you're running around and you're getting in the prone position, you start sliding out of it. There's no, you know, it's a real pain. And then add on to that your assault pack. You can try to manage the load, but it's really tough with the weights that everyone is asking for, you know, for their mission. Now with the Camelback, okay, so now you see how high it is, and it is just all on your shoulders. There's nothing to get the weight up on your back here. There's nothing. It just hangs down on your shoulders, on your 30-pound vest, plus 10 pounds if you're carrying 10 rounds of ammunition, plus a radio if you're wearing a squad radio, plus canteens. You know, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so our guys are suffering out there, and that's why there's no solution. The problem with this pack is that there's no hip belt. There's no way to get it around your hips. Even if you had a belt. Let me get the Marine Corps pack out, and we'll see, because this pack, as great as it manages the load and can pack everything in it, it doesn't have a hip belt. So you can't, there's no way to get the load off your shoulders. So you've got your 10-pound rifle, you've got all of this stuff on the front. This hopefully balances out the back, but it's just all on your shoulders, and you can injure yourself if you're, you know, looking, if you try and then forget about going in the prone. If you throw yourself down on the ground, this is going to come up and hit you in the back of the head, boom, you know, with your helmet. And so, I mean, the guys need these packs. They need them in the field, but it's a horrible thing that we're asking our guys to do. It's just it's too much, you know. But the thing is, my personal thing is more about the civilians that are trying to buy into this because of the cool factor, not the practicality factor. Okay, so you know, let's try something. Let's go back to civilian mode. You put this on, and you want it to ride up here, you know, but what does it do? It just drops, and there's no hip belt to get it off of your shoulders, so it's all on your shoulders, which is incredibly fatiguing. So I would encourage all these guys with these high-speed packs to take off. Go do 20 miles, 10 miles out, 10 miles back, 6 hours. And tell me whether or not it's worth it. All right, let's put on the ILB assault pack, which couldn't even put half of this stuff in there. And I'll show you the real flimsy. It does have a waist belt, but it's combat ineffective. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I have decided I'm gonna put this on tape, the packing. I should have done that with the other pack. I just didn't want to waste a whole lot of time, but I also realized that a lot of people are like, no, wait, show us, show me what you're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna pack the ILB assault pack. Try and be as fast as possible here. Poncho liner, because I'd like to put the lightest stuff on the bottom. That's going to force the heavier stuff higher up on my back. Alright. Poncho. And you can see already that you know, a lot of the room is already being taken up. I don't have a radio. There's no radio in here or anything. But one fleece jacket, one poncho, and you know, you've got a shelter slash kind of like ranger sleeping bag with the poncho liner and poncho, so okay, just in case. You got a fleece jacket. But if it's cold and wet, you're going to need your Gore-Tex. And you can see already that that's pushing it. We got the your extra underwear, t-shirts, and socks and stuff in here that could go in the main pack, the main pocket here. And you know, I don't know how Marines do it, so you know what their SOPs are as far as resupply and everything. So you got your fleece cap and neck gaiter, leather work gloves with inserts, some baby wipes, personal hygiene kit here. And I guess your extra water would really have to be by these extra canteens. I mean, that's an extra ½ gallon. I guess that's more than, I don't know if that's comparable to 70 ounces or not. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but right there, you know. And then, so then what? There's a so then you put your extra pocket here, and e-tool here, you know, or however you work it, because you still have no place to carry any food, so you would have to break your, you know, you'd have to break your MREs down. You'd have to break them down and stick them somewhere. You can't be expected to run across the battlefield with MREs in your hip pockets. You know, it's ridiculous. So your MREs, and outside, again, this is a 200 round SOB pouch, and then maybe your E-tool there, or maybe opposite, but then, you know, deploying it when you have, there's so many issues about people trying to open their stuff and it's blocked by another pouch or another pocket or something like that. So, you know, you have to watch it. You know, key being, if you're a military guy, think through your system, you know, think through how you're going to fight. But as a civilian, you know, this stuff doesn't work to bug out with. You have to take too much stuff. So an assault pack with around 30-liter, you know, payload really isn't big enough. And this is just military stuff. We were talking about the civilian stuff with tents and sleeping bags, and you know, this is simply, you know, emergency bug out. This might be good for a get back to the house bag. You know, if you're at work and something happens and you got to get back to the house, there's too much traffic, you know, and you can't, there's no, you know, there's just no way yet. You got to go by foot to get to wherever you're going. You know, get home bag, sure, but a bug out bag, probably not. All right, now with this maxed out here, let's see what happens when we try and put this stuff on. In the whole shot here now. Okay, so once you don your pack, all right, same kind of problem. it's all on your shoulders, and you say, oh, well, let me deploy the hip belt. Alright, the problem with the hip belt, one is that it's just not nearly as big enough. Alright, where you're supposed to wear your hip belt is the top of your hip bone, which is basically on the same line as your belly button. And the hip belt should be centered on that so that your bone structure, actually, the weight gets pushed down on your bone structure. But with this, there's no way, okay? It's not going to be a good enough. It's not going to be a good enough weight distribution system. It's not robust enough for that purpose. So again, it's all going to be on your shoulders. No matter what you try and do, all of your weight is going to be on your shoulders. Now this is a smaller pack, so the weight, it isn't as heavy as the other one. I mean, here's another. Here's this. This was in the Camelback as the auxiliary water, and that's another 3.3 pounds, right? Or 6.6 pounds. So, so this is lighter, but I would still challenge it. You know, my canteens here are empty, so fill those up, and go for 20 miles. And how are your shoulders going to feel? You know, it's not going to work, okay? So, the Achilles heel in assault packs is that one key factor is that most of the assault packs in the 30-liter range, all right, are one size fits all. Now, there are manufacturers like Kifaru and Iberlistock and Mystery Ranch where you can actually buy the packs in sizes. Kifaru will actually custom build their packs for your size. And I don't know how that works. Maybe somebody with experience from Kifaru can put some comments below on what their experience was with Kifaru, if they lived a distance, or how they got measured, you know, for their pack or whatever, however that worked. But like most of the Iberlistock packs are huge. I mean, they have like a couple of 30-liter-ish size packs, and their packs are robust, and surprisingly they're cheaper than the other ones. But you know, this is like riding in the middle. There's nothing to lift the load with. There's a gap. I don't know if you can see, but there's a gap here behind my back, and where my lumbar should be resting on my tailbone. But because this pack is so small, the weight is just gonna drag down, and I don't have any mechanism to pull it up here, and then it's too short, you know, to actually put the weight on the hips with the hip belt. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So it's a no-go. All right, no-go. Let me show you something to contrast this. I'm going to contrast this with something else that I have. All right, stand by.